Hello, everybody. My name is Snaffy Stuffy. Become me Stuffy, and welcome to another talk show. Where today, as you can see, I've been looking through a lot of things. You're wondering why? Well, I'm building the background. Yeah, no more little green screen here anymore. Though the excruciating part is taking it all apart, so I can actually use the green screen now. So, yeah. Sorry, I just ran over here. Really had to make a video about this one, but everything is in its proper place. I was experimenting with the characters a little bit, and I realized that their knees are very weak. Okay, the knees, no knees. That's a knee. The ankles. The ankles were very weak. They're pretty weak. Hold on, I'll show you. As you can already see, I sort of struggled to put up the I sort of struggled to put up the character, and it's pretty much because of the ankles. Hold on, let me so it can be easier. There, I think that's better. Um, but yeah, the reason why these creatures are so weak is because of their ankles. Pretty much like one little bump can sort of like set them a little bit forward, but too much can set them to do like a Michael Jackson, I like to call it. Yeah, they just do this, and all because of their ankles. So I sort of reinforce the ankles by using like these ball joints. But the problem is now they can't do the Michael Jackson, which is sort of good, but it's also kind of bad. Well, it's good for two reasons. One, because you remember like the Bonnie, you remember that Bonnie video where he's giving you like a pizza or something? Oh, like what was it? Uh, Bonnie's New Year's meal. That's what it was. Bonnie's New Year's meal. The reason why I only turned why I only turned his torso here, bon thing. The reason why I really only turned his torso was because I mean his knees were sort of stuck. It's his knees. His feet were sort of stuck, and they can't be turned that way. I need to catch my breath. I should probably put the camera up there. There. I'll fix that later. But there's a little camera. Um, but anyway, yeah, I really could only turn their torso because, well, I mean, because their feet were stuck. And so I sort of made this so that way I can sort of like detach their feet for a bit, and that way I can make them sort of turn so that way they can go, to another direction to walk. And actually, like when they plant their feet somewhere, then you can start the cycle again. But that's not the case here for this one, because if you try to like sort of just make them walk, it just looks pretty weird. I mean, it sort of does work for a bit, but it's not really like fully working. Not the way that these feet work. I like to use these feet. I like to use these ankles because it makes it kind of how to make them walk. Oh crap! Like sort of like to make them walk. You sort of like I don't know. You have to like make them like skip one step in front, like plant their foot, and eventually sort of like make them like go at an angle so they can eventually just like have like a little nice stroll. That's how I make them walk, and it requires them to do this, but all together, but when their feet are together, that's when they sort of like that's when they become so weak they do like the Michael Jackson. And because I use this, it makes it stronger, but the problem is that they can't really do this anymore. So I'm gonna have to think of that. And some animations may have this. And actually, yeah, for the rest of the animation, it's gonna have this until the parts that arrive. That's just gonna be like a checker pattern, and also like for around here, this part might be a little harder. This part, maybe not so much. Like around 2 or 3 minutes, probably. What else? think that's it. But yeah, these are the parts that I didn't really use. Um, yeah, that's really it. But I just sort of a problem I have to fix, which is the ankles. And the reason why I'm sort of changing the ground here for a bit, I'm using I don't know. I'm using these 2x2 plates. Oh, this is okay. This one's broken. I didn't realize that. But this 2x2 plate with a little stud in the center, this is going to become pretty important for these characters because, I mean, as you can see, their feet have studs, and it's good. Well, not they don't have studs. The stud openers? I don't know. I don't know what they're called. But they have those so that way they can, like properly stick to this. But the problem is, usually they become too strong, like Chico over here. They become way too strong to the point where they sort of just like don't exactly, where they don't just detach easily. I don't know, like, get that out of here. Like for this one, it works perfectly. But for this one, look, I already broke the foot. I'm just trying to detach this. I'm trying to get it off, but it's just not working. It's too strong. So I'm gonna use. Oh, there it is. So I'm gonna use this to sort of like have it here in the center, and eventually like have. Oh my God, I have lots of. I'm gonna have like around like something like this. Just sort of like surround them a bit. And it's gonna be like this sort of pattern. And yes, I chose the Squidward painting because, well, I didn't have any other paintings. But it's sort of going to be like this sort of pattern. I'm still sort of thinking of it because if I do this, if I do something like that, I'll show you. Because if I do something like this, then it does work pretty good, and it does like make their feet full like that. But eventually is sort of when that happens. Normally is when that happens. And they sort of just get stuck. Usually it just gets stuck, so you just have like somewhere like have them in the middle or something. Yeah, it does work. It does actually like go on pretty well. There's just so many problems. There are so many problems with the feet. The feet I may have to remodel again. The ankles I definitely have to remodel. Arms might also have a little bit of a problem because look at my arm. Look at how my arm is. I can do this, I can do this, I can do all sorts of things with my arm. They can only do this. That's all they can do, and these physically have to like move their arm, just pretty much like to do anything. So I'm gonna have to think of how to make their little elbows here move as well, kind of like side to side. So there's a lot of problems with the animatronics. They are already huge enough. They tower over any child or any minifigure. They tower over them, and it's a big problem. So yeah, I do not know how I'm gonna do this just yet, but I think I sort of do know. Oh wait, no, I don't. I don't know how to do this. It's actually harder than I thought. I thought this would be so easy, but it's not going to be easy because I have to think of how their legs are going to move. I have to think of how their arms are going to move. I have to think of how everything goes. Oh man. Okay, well, I'm not gonna have you guys sit here and just pretty much do nothing at all while I just think. But so far, yeah, these are the problems so far. Some of them are easy, some of them are an easy fix, but with their own complications, and a lot of them are, yeah, and a lot of them are, Yeah. So eventually, if I can, I will do it. But till then, you are stuck with these characters. And of course this as well, because this is kind of weird to look at. But anyway, that is all for today. That is all the problems I have. That is all I have to share. And it's just still, I think it's still February. Happy Valentine's Day. Well, actually, never mind. It's way past that. Uh, Goodbye, all. Yes, that's it. I don't know. Yeah, goodbye.